Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV 2RS. You may know, if you followed the channel for a while, I was very harsh and critical of the Blazer EV, the bigger sibling to this. So is this most affordable EV with 315 plus miles of range any good? Does it best its big sibling? Stay tuned to find out. First things first, I do want to say a huge thank you to my friends here at Pelche Chevrolet in Tyler, Texas. If you want to make this Equinox EV yours, come up here and ask for Clinton or Franklin. They can both help you out. They have been phenomenal friends in this process. But let's do what we normally do and talk about what motivates this vehicle. No, there is no engine under the hood as it is traditionally figured. This is a fully electric vehicle, even though they are using the Equinox name. This is a very unique, very bespoke platform riding on the Ultium platform. And so to that end, no, there is no gasoline engine in this one. This is an all-wheel drive, so it is a dual motor system. So it does make some extra oomph over the front wheel drive versions. First and foremost, front wheel drives make 213 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque. All-wheel drive versions like this all-wheel drive RS makes 288 horsepower and 333 pound-feet of torque. And if you are paying attention, those are the exact same power numbers from the bigger, heavier, a little less fun, we'll get into that here in a little bit, Blazer EV RS that I've already driven here on the channel. Again, I've been critical of that vehicle. We'll see if all those criticisms hold true here with this Equinox. We'll go ahead and close the hood here. It is a double latch hood. Unfortunately, no, there is no front trunk or frunk in this, but I'd say the styling on this one absolutely stands out. I believe it looks better than the Blazer, even in its more compact form. Very unique styling elements on this one. Of course, all EVs get this LED running light across the front that's becoming a staple of the design of all EVs from every automaker, but you can see they incorporate the turn signals up there as well. The headlights are LED headlights and they're hidden if they're not on. Most people would not even recognize them that they are down there. So headlights are becoming less and less prominent on the fronts of vehicles. Do you remember when US regulations used to mandate they had to be that big box on the front of vehicles? Yeah, that is long gone. Much like the Blazer EV, it's very hard to tell here on this black one, but we get this black recessed faux grille up front, and just above the license plate below the bow tie, we do have a front-facing camera, so we do get a lot of amenities and goodies here on this 2RS. Talking about aerodynamics, we do get this air pass-through up front here. You can see the tire peeking through there, so this is functional for getting air around the front of the vehicle. You can see we get air in to cool off the electric motors and such up here and down here. So this isn't a completely faux grille, but EVs do not need the same level of cooling that gas-powered vehicles do. And then I like the faux carbon fiber look. It is actually textured. I forgot to trim my fingernails, so I can get that nice ASMR for you right there on that. But it is a very classy, very unique look that really sets it apart from the last affordable EV that Chevrolet offered. Chevrolet's last affordable EV was this, the Bolt EV. It was also their first EV. This does not use the Ultium architecture. You can see there is a drastic size and style differentiation between these two. This was much beloved, but met its demise. But due to popular demand, Chevrolet is bringing it back. In fact, they're killing the Chevrolet Malibu to produce the next generation Bolt, where Malibu is currently being produced. As we continue to move around the side, you can see the sleek, windswept look of the Equinox EV. Very raked windshield, very clean, sleek lines all the way around on this one. But before we get too far back, let's talk about the wheels. Our RS model, our 2RS specifically, gets these black wheels that are wrapped in Continental CrossContact tires. That's very easy for me to say. These are 275/40 R21-inch rubber wrapped around these black wheels. You can see the disc brakes back behind, but a lot of braking duty, as with most EVs, is done through regenerative braking. We'll get into that when we drive. Coming around to the side, something that Chevrolet has been doing is adding that 3 blue bar E to all of their EV models. So Silverado EV, the Silverado EV has that 3 bar E that really stands out. This is the, of course, Equinox EV, the Blazer EV also gets that. It'll be interesting to see what they do when they get to a vehicle without an E. Rumor has it the Camaro is coming back as an EV. A lot of people misspell that to have an E on it, but it's C-A-M-A-R-O. It's my favorite vehicle after all. Coming back to the back, we get this shark fin-like panel back here that we see on vehicles like the 2025 Traverse. This is an RS. I will have content on this one on the channel very soon as well. Again, huge thanks to my friends over here at Pelche Chevrolet. As we move around to the back, I can tell you exactly where and how this vehicle was riding on the transport carrier by the bug splatters back here on the back. It was riding up top at the front, and it was catching all the wind and all of the bugs. So this one just got here, and they just got it PDI'd and out on the lot. Again, you can make this one yours. Ask for Franklin, ask for Clinton. They can help you out. Much like the front, we get LED lights all the way across. This is the new lighting signature for the brand, for their SUVs. I like this dual element design. Again, referencing that Traverse. Very similar lighting design back there on that Traverse. And it is a very sporty look. The red, the black, all the contrast on this one. Really like that a lot. You can see down here we have a backup camera that is federally mandated to go with the front-facing camera and all the other cameras that we have on this. No exhaust tip on this one because, of course, it is electric. We do have a latch to open the rear hatch back here, and again, bringing up the Blazer EV. One of the great things about electric vehicles is the room that they can afford on the inside, the way that they can package the interior. I'm going to go ahead and give you the bigger Blazer EV storage numbers, and then we will contrast that with what we see here. Inside the Blazer EV, with the back seats up, you get 25.5 cubic feet of storage space. Fold the seats down, you get 59.1. Here in this smaller Equinox EV, we actually get better numbers with the seats up, 26.4 cubic feet with the rear seats up, and almost equivalent 57.2 with the rear seats folded. I think some of that has to do with this unique cargo floor back here in the back. I'm going to go ahead and pull my backpack out and show you some of the things that can happen back here, including lifting it up, and then you have all that hidden storage underneath. That's where the charger is. You can see we've got tools for repairing a flat tire, changing a flat tire, but you can actually pull this out and push it forward, much like on Mazdas, Hyundais, Kias, and now we have a taller load area that does ramp up to the back of the seat, so you can tell where the seats, when they're folded, where they will reside, but it still gives you a nice transition, but allows you to load taller things in, and you still have separation here on the side. So I like that a lot. You can, of course, lift and put that back into place. That is very nice. And then again, we will put my backpack back here, just so you have some sort of reference. I'm 5'10". This is how wide it opens. Very nice. Allows me to get in. It is a power hatch. The button is up here. And you can very easily park this in a garage. I don't see this being a problem. Even in my 1963 built garage, no complaints there. As we come around to the interior of this vehicle, I will point out some unique, interesting things to the Equinox versus the Blazer. First and foremost, another thing they fixed, in my opinion, over the Blazer EV is this charge port door. The Blazer EV had a power charge port door that was the slowest in the entire world. I cannot believe just how slow the Blazer EV charge door was, but you can see just how quickly and easily you can get into this one. At launch, this will come with CCS charging. charging, so J1772 or CCS for DC fast charging, but Chevrolet General Motors has committed to going to the North America Charging Standard or NACS plug, aka the Tesla plug, so this will be changing, and you can also get an adapter for that. Another interesting thing on this vehicle are the door handles here. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna play a little game here because they are power door handles. They do retract. We're gonna go ahead and lock it, and the vehicle is now locked, and you can see just how flush they are all the way around. But we're gonna go ahead now and unlock it, and I just want you to listen to just how much noise they make. They are a more affordable motor. So there you go. They are a little noisy, but being America's most affordable EV with over 315 miles of range, some sacrifices have to be made. I'm not complaining too much. I just wanted to make you aware. Coming to the door panel, nothing fancy up here. We do get express up down for the driver, not all the other windows. We get this gradient texture here. Chevrolet likes using red plastics in their vehicles, and we get that here, very much like the Blazer EV we tested. Very similar seating style, materials, colors, everything down to the red and blue stitching, the red piping, all the accents in this one. We even have RS embossed there on the headrest. Very much mimics the Blazer EV, the bigger Blazer EV. But when we come inside, we'll go ahead and get in and have her quit binging and bonging at us. I will say, much like the Blazer EV, to start it, you get in and put your foot on the brake. That turns it on. You can also power it on and off from the screen here. So I'm going to hit the vehicle off button right here. It asks you again, do you want it off? And now you can say it says press brake to start. Again, I have the key in my pocket, and now the vehicle's back on. If the screen isn't on, there is a power button for the screen right here. My goodness, let's blow me away here with the fan speed. Let's see, there is fan speed right there. Largest in the class, 17.7 freeform display here. We're going to stay in demo mode and show you just all the things that you can do on here. It is powered by Google. Google's built in. You got a lot of shortcuts up here. Famously, no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto in this because General Motors wants to keep EV charging data to themselves. So no phone integration to that end, but you can log in to your different accounts and things like that. You can still Bluetooth pair it, Bluetooth stream. You still can connect your phone. You just won't get phone projection through Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We get a nice digital screen here with all the necessary information. You can see we have 203 miles of range at 69%. That is actually quite stellar, even in these situations, because keep in mind, if you are DC fast charging on a road trip, you're going to get 80% before you slow to a trickle charge. So the fact that you can still get 200 at 70% means that you're going to get a good amount even at 80%. I really like the Blazer style air vents on the sides. They're turbine style, but different material around them. They don't show the condensation that we saw on the Blazer. We get a few buttons over here, including auto hold, your hatch button, your brightness control, and your electronic parking brake, as well as lane keep. No lighting controls because, again, famously, all of that is integrated into the screen here. You can see that's why she was binging and bonging at me. I have the headlights on to show you exactly where those were. You've got a bunch of quick touch controls here, including one pedal driving. You can set the level, high, normal, off, things like that. You can also go into drive modes here. We've got normal, sport, snow and ice, and my mode, where you can customize even more about that. And then again, we have quick access here for one pedal driving, and we can set the mode. We'll talk more about that when we are driving. All your HVAC controls are here. No dual zone. We do also get redundant physical controls here. So fan speed right there. So I was looking for it on the screen, but it is also down here on and off. Can put it on auto, but Again, that was blasting me out. Very humid day here. Nice controls here. We do have heated front seats, but not ventilated. Nice area right here. This would have Qi wireless charging on higher trims. You can see this is actually removable, so you can clean it. I don't like how General Motors puts their Qi wireless chargers like right in the middle. It doesn't work that well for me. But if you remember on the Blazer EV, there was that retractable door with a couple USB-C ports underneath it that you couldn't close. I think this is more usable space than what's in the Blazer, as is this right here with 2 USB ports right there. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and you can see that fits very nicely right here, so I like that a lot. Couple cup holders here. Guess they want you to keep your keys here. Even more storage down here, one of the hallmarks of EVs. And the new gear selector lever. We're seeing this even in their gas-powered vehicles. Again, talking about that Traverse over there, they're even putting this in their gas-powered vehicles, so we're getting used to that. We have the light here and the cameras here. This does have Super Cruise on it, so again, a very nice, luxurious option for those who want and need it. So not only does it have adaptive cruise control, but it's got full hands-free driving on the road. Coming to me, you can see I've got plenty of room. There is just an embarrassment of space here, and in fact, I'm going to get myself a little more comfortable up front here. But yeah, plenty of headroom. No sunroof on this one. You can get an optional panoramic roof, but very nice headroom in this one. Actually, I'm going to make sure the doors are unlocked, and we're going to pop around to the back seat. You can see the vehicle did turn itself off because I got out of the driver's seat. I can turn it back on if I need to, but I don't. So opening the back door, they don't open 90 degrees. So if you're trying to get a car seat in, could open wider, but you still get a nice wide opening. Again, the wheels, because this is a dedicated EV platform, are pushed way out, and we have plenty of room here on the inside. One of the big selling points of the bigger Blazer EV was just how much room is in it. This has equally as good room here inside of it, even in a smaller size and price class. We get air vents back here. We get 2 USB-C ports back here. We get map pockets and map pockets, and we get fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. We get very easy access lower latches for child seats, and we get 60/40 split bench folding rear seats. Unfortunately, there are no remote latches back there in the back. You have to do it from the side of the vehicle, but they do give you a nice fold flat. They don't recline. See? No recline, but they are very comfortable. I could ride back here, no problem. Moving to the center, I am a little higher up and a little more upright, but still very comfortable back here. I still don't just have tons of space, but I could ride back here. I think this is a perfectly acceptable 5-seat vehicle. Now, let's take it out for a drive, see how much better it performs with the same power and less weight than the bigger Blazer EV. All right, getting in, starting up. It just does it by itself, which is kind of the fun thing about EVs. They can just be on when you need them to be on and not when you don't need them to be. And sitting and idling doesn't necessarily drain a lot of power, except here in Texas where we run the AC year-round. So there is that. But otherwise, I am so far pleasantly surprised with this vehicle. I say so far because this is my first time really putting one into motion. I'm still on the back lot at Pelche Chevrolet here in Tyler, Texas. I do want more time with one of these, so hit the subscribe button down below and ring the bell to help me prove to Chevrolet they need to send us one to do our full suite of tests, to live with it for a week, to do a little more than just a speed date with one. I can tell you the one pedal driving I've got on currently, you can see on set level high. So got that fully done and in its strongest mode. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport drive mode so that when we take off here, I can really get a feel for how this compared to the somewhat disappointing Blazer EV RS. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get moving. All right, traffic is opening up, and let's do quick acceleration. All right. That is better. This thing is hauling around less weight. It is smaller, more agile, more nimble. It's better than the Blazer EV RS. And that's kind of a low bar. Like, I was generally, I don't know if displeased is the right word, but I don't know. I just expected more out of the Blazer EV RS. One unique thing that does is offer front, rear, or all-wheel drive, whereas this one is front or all-wheel drive. Let's come to a complete stop. We're actually going to turn one pedal off. I'm going to do full on the brake, full on the accelerator, and okay. I can feel it pulling me in my seat. I'm not going to go too far because there is a big rut or dip culvert in the road right up here, and I don't want to go super crazy with that, but we'll do an acceleration test again here in just a little bit. But now, piloting this around, I see a Tesla Model 3, and favorable opinion of this one. I get a heritage brand when it comes to the dealer network, to service, things like that, but I get an EV with over 300 miles of range, which I think is that sweet spot. Would I like to see over 400? Yes. Over 300 is very good. Even here at 68%, I have right at 200%. And that is in sport mode. I wonder if it recalibrates. No, it doesn't recalibrate for whatever drive mode I'm in. But yeah, fairly good performance. And I like the size of this one. It is the right size. I feel like the Blazer is unnecessarily big. And that is proved out when I talk about the storage space between the two. You're really not losing a lot by coming to the Equinox. You really only lose switching to the Equinox from the Blazer if you're frequently folding down those back seats. So the overall kind of nomad-like shape of the Blazer EV RS with its more low-rise roofline really cuts into overall cargo space on the inside. Let's get out and going again. It's good. I like it. It's good. I did not have that same impression first time driving the Blazer EV. Again, at the time, they weren't even out in the press fleet when I got to drive one. Power numbers weren't out. Information was super scarce the first time I drove a Blazer, and I was fed the wrong power numbers, so I did go in with higher expectations. But the overall design, the overall feel, the overall packaging of the Blazer left me wanting more, especially for the price tag of it. The Equinox EV starts at the mid-30s, not currently, but by the end of the year you will be able to get one in the mid-30s. But right now these start in the mid-40s and can work their way up into the $50,000 price range. But you still get a lot for that. Again, the big screen here, the digital display, you get Super Cruise, which I have tested both pulling a trailer, not pulling a trailer. The Super Cruise is fantastic, beats out anything that Tesla has right now. I'm sorry if you believe the full self-driving nonsense. Like, Super Cruise really was a big plus for me and kind of a game changer when it came to hands-free driving. I really do appreciate what General Motors has done with Super Cruise. But here we go. One more time, we're going to pull on into oncoming traffic, and yeah, I like it. It works well. It pulls when you want it to. That regen I currently have off, but I can turn back on. It is strong regen on heavy. I wish that there was a little bit more that we could do with like this paddle right here. For instance, when it comes to regen, I like what Hyundai does with their paddles, where you can adjust the regen kind of on the fly. So that is something I really like with Hyundai EVs, Hyundai Kia EVs, is the fact that you can adjust that kind of on the fly. Whereas this, you kind of had to dig through the menus. So some trade-offs, but this really is a good vehicle overall. And I've been referencing Tesla a lot, but let's talk about Hyundai and how this compares to something like the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 6. I have become a big Hyundai brand ambassador, so to speak. I've liked everything they've sent us, and this is a good alternative. I don't know, me personally, I may still stick with the Hyundai, but this is still a strong offering. Let's do full brake, full acceleration. Oh my goodness. Still not to 60, still not to 60, still not to 60, and there it is. So fairly quick, not lightning fast. Would be interesting to see if they release an SS version of this. Currently there are none slated. This is the most powerful. But again, I really like the power package in this versus the Blazer. It's smaller, it's lighter, and it just works better. The Blazer, of course, does get an SS version. I have yet to sample that one, but perhaps some of my issues with Blazer would go away sampling the SS. We'll see. Other things that I normally talk about on a vehicle test. Visibility. I will say this has a comically large dashboard, like 4th gen Camaro large. I remember growing up loving the 4th gen Camaro, reading every single article I could on the vehicle, and that was the #1 complaint, was how laughably huge the dashboard is, and same is true here. But much like other vehicles with this same screen setup, I feel like it is low and I can see out over it very nicely. I do see a little bit of the hood, but it does kind of dive off there, so I don't know exactly where the front of this vehicle is, but that's okay. Otherwise, I get these little windows here. This one is useless to me, but I can see out of that one, which is not something you typically see in a Chevy designed product, this little extra window here. Otherwise, the C-pillar is a little on the large side, kind of chunky back there, but there's a headrest in the way, so yeah. Mirrors are a little on the small side, but I feel like I can see around this very nicely. I don't get a digital rear view mirror here on this one, but the view out the back is very nice. Didn't talk about cameras earlier. I don't like how you have to dig through the screen to get to them, but you can get to them. They are nice, full 360 cameras. This does also have GM safety seat with cross traffic alert and all that fun stuff. So I got a little vibrate in the booty, kind of warning me of obstacles and distractions and things all the way around me. I like it. It is a very well packaged vehicle. If you can get over the large dashboard that you can have a picnic on, I'd say this is a real winner. I have been overall very well impressed with this, especially coming from my time in the Blazer EV. I just feel like that one didn't quite hit the mark for me, but this is the EV Chevrolet should have introduced first. I could see them selling a whole lot more of these than the Blazer. That is my 2 cents. That is my personal opinion. I think the packaging of this one is just a whole lot better all the way around from nose to tail. And it puts a smile on my face. I think this should have been their introduction into electrification. To overall EV driving. I think this just works better. It's more affordable, it is more approachable, it is more accessible. I think it looks better. Style is subjective, I know, but all the way around, it just feels like a better package to me than what they offered with the Blazer. I don't know, you sound off down in the comments down below. Speaking of, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you are notified every time a future video drops from us. Find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, everything is at GT Garage Talk. Or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, I am now stuck in traffic here in the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV 2RS from my friends here at Pelche Chevrolet in Tyler, Texas. Huge thanks to them. Go check them out. Ask for Franklin. Ask for Clinton. Tell them Corey sent you. Until next time. Bye. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. I do feel like on launch, maybe the nose is a little light and very kind of easy to point around, but that's like physics. You lean back during acceleration. But yeah, it's good. I like it.